You showing up and showing out regarding your runs. You're looking great. You may not feel so great right now because we just did a long run earlier today. And I hope you went home and got some rest and recovered and put back good nutrients in your body, which is so important after your race. Today we ran inside because of the weather. And I want you guys to remember when we have to run inside, make sure you're intaking plenty of water. You typically want to intake double what you'll typically do outside. Needless to say, when you're inside with warmer temperatures, you're going to sweat much more. When I say drink water, I'm basically saying 2 or 3 sips of water is efficient and effective for us keeping hydrated during your run. Do not think about, when I have to drink water, I'm concerned about I have to stop and use the restroom. I understand it. I hate stopping too, trust me, because I'm trying to get it done. But you have to sort of think about it this way. Literally, when we're running, our organs are bouncing up and down in our body. And they're close to each other. And as they're bouncing up and down, if they don't have the proper hydration, which is water, they can bring harm to each other by bouncing and hitting each other. It can bruise the organ, and I know it sounds odd, but the reason being is because we're doing endurance. So if you think about your organs are bouncing up and down for over 2 hours, and typically you guys gonna finish your half marathon in 2 hours or maybe even more. So that's a continuous bouncing up and down. Even if you guys are walking, you pretty much guys can walk pretty much fast like some people run. So that's still, the bouncing of your organs inside. So keep that in mind, that visual. When you sort of like, I don't want to drink water, just think about what's going on in the inside of your body. It's so worth not to go through all that. Another thing I want to talk to you guys about is your running shoes. I think at this point, pretty much all you guys have got your running shoes, and if you have not, please do so. It's very important. Just want to make sure we all understand is that it's a lot of running shoes on the market, and they are all great, and some people have a particular brand, such as myself, that I like. However, the important thing is that your running shoes should not be worn during the week. Keep your running shoe designated in the closet by themselves because it takes a lot of wear and tear, and you sweat in these shoes a lot during your run. So you don't want to sweat on Sunday so much or on your short runs during the week. Just use them for your runs. And the sweat will build up, and you don't want too much sweating in your shoes. So just keep that in mind. Take care of your running shoes. They're sort of like a totally different pair of shoes. You don't want them with your regular workout shoes, okay? Another thing I want you to remember is that I wear a size 9. So when I go get my running shoes, I get a size 9.5. And the reason being is that during your run, your feet literally expands. And you need that extra space in the front to compensate for your feet swelling. So if you have a 9.5, you want to feel the front of the toe, and you want to have plenty of space right there. So when you're running, your feet are actually, or your toes are actually going forward, and it can hit this spot, this space. And if your shoe is too small, it starts hitting your nails or your toenails, which can cause your toenails to turn black and also get blisters on them. So that's why it's important to get your shoes an inch bigger than your typical or what your size actually is. It just makes a difference for us the swelling is concerned. Another thing, try your shoes out. When you go to the running boutique, trust me, when they give you a pair of shoes, they're pretty much trying to get the best shoe on your feet for what they're able to see at the store. But it's a different climate when you actually go out and run long distance in them shoes. So don't be surprised or shocked that when you go for your action, they felt good in the store, and you did a little run around the building and they felt great. But then when you did your long run the next day or that Saturday, they didn't feel so great. That's why they give you the opportunity to bring the shoes back, because it's just a different way for us running shorts, a little short run around the store than being outside. So try the shoe out. If you're not pleased with them, take them back, okay? That's very important. Another thing I want to talk about is compression attire. A couple of people have, emailed me or contacted me and asked about compressions. Compressions typically started off, as I can recall, as just compression socks, and they look like this. The compression socks were invented probably, I guess, maybe 15 to 20 years ago, and they're great for shin splints and also calf injuries that you may have when you're running. And basically what a compression sock does is pretty much holds your arm or the leg in place, and it allows the veins to stay more smaller so the toxins can't build up so much as if you didn't have that compression socks. So they bring your veins in, and it holds your body or that area in more secure, and it prevents the toxins. And that's where you get that discomfort, the lactic acid building up in the toxins. Me, myself, the reason why I started using compression socks is because I'm predisposed to shin splints. And I go through my season with compression socks. Sometimes I'm fine without them. Sometimes I get them shin splints and I have to resort back to using them. Compression socks typically run about $50 a pair. You can find them at any particular running shoe store or any sports goods store. Dick's and Sports Authority also have these items in their shoe department. Of course, you can't wear them forever. I wish you could, because it would save a lot of money, but eventually you would have to replace them because they are elastic, and pretty much with any elastic it will sort of lose its tension after a while. But they do last for a good amount of time. But just be aware, each season, if you do decide to continue to do marathons, you probably want to replace them after each marathon. Good idea. Another thing is that not only do they do compression socks, they also have compression attire overall. So you can get a compression jacket, compression pants, even compression socks. And the whole compression attire does work. I tried it myself and I love it. I really do. So if you start having some injuries or shin splints in some areas or hamstring tugging, they're very good for your runs. So try it out. You can find that pretty much anywhere. That's not a problem. You will pay a pretty penny for them, but it's worth it at the end. It really is. Another thing I wanted to bring to your attention, guys, is because of the weather that we've been having now, and I'm sure we might have some more as we're training, is the water or the rain that's coming. Another product that's been on the market for a while is the waterproofer. And the waterproofer can be found at any sporting goods store. And you just spray it on your tennis shoes the night before you do your run, and you let it dry, and it literally protects your shoes from getting wet and protects your feet from getting wet and your socks from getting all wet, which can cause blisters as you run. The directions are on the bottle, and again, it's just a spray that you put on your shoes, and you just let it dry the night before, and it does work wonders. It really does. This can probably run, if I'm not mistaken, probably about $15. And again, you can find it at any sporting goods store. And you can also spray it on your attire if you choose so. But you should not have to do that so much because you all should be wearing dry fit material. Okay. Another item that I want to always encourage you guys to at least keep in your gym bag is Benguet, or either the equivalent of Benguet. This is a Kroger brand of Benguet, but it works great too. Benguet is not for the old commercials, the older people with arthritis and stuff. Of course, it does help that. But it's also been used, it still has been used by athletes, and you are an athlete, okay? And what this does, that many of us probably start noticing we have some nagging injuries, and I don't even want to use the word injury because it's not necessarily preventing you from doing the exercise, but you sort of tender in that area, or you notice that side is not as strong as the other side, and you find tension in that area. Me, myself, like clockwork, as soon as I hit about 6 miles or 7 miles, for whatever reason, this area in my arm or between my shoulder and here began to get, very tender, and I can really feel it. So what I would do the day before, or either before my run, I would just put some Benguet in this area. I also use it when I begin to run a lot, and it causes my hamstrings to tighten up and my shin splints to start hurting or being aggravated. I rub this on my legs before the run, and it warms my body up, especially my legs, much quicker. than just running. So this is great for that, and I can definitely tell you, I have seen the benefits from this. I always keep this in my bag. This little tube probably goes about $5, and you can probably get about, I would say, 10 applications out of this little bottle right here. So something to keep in your bag. Another thing that I have brought to you guys' attention is in this cold weather, hand warmers and toe warmers. Okay. Now, if you have not tried the hand warmers or toe warmers, feel free to ask me for one. I always keep them in my bag, and they're awesome. Even if you wear gloves, sometimes the gloves are not warm enough. So what I would do is just open up a pack of the hand warmers, and you pull one out, and I would just put it on the inside of the glove and just hold it in my palm. And it just keeps your hands warmer even better with the gloves. And once you feel your hands are warm or what have you, you can just discard this if you if you feel that you done got your hands warm enough. The toe warmers are just pretty much the same product, but they have some adhesive here, and you put it in the bottom of your shoe at the toe area. That's also an awesome product, and I would suggest just to try it at any time you feel that it's getting too warm. You can always just pull them out your shoes and continue on with your run. These items can last up to 12 hours, so there's plenty of time during your run, and it will keep you warm throughout your run. Okay. I think that's all I have to tell you on this video. If you have any questions, any concerns, please give me a call. You're doing fantastic. Again, remember, the training part is about knowing how your body reacts during training. Remember, try new things for your runs. Just make sure you're eating something before your run. Make sure you're hydrating yourself. If you have any questions about what to eat, please give me a call. Everybody's different. Me, typically, I would eat a nice healthy meal the night before the run, and then that morning I would just get a piece of toast, half a piece of toast, a wheat toast, and put a little bit of peanut butter on it, and just put something on my stomach. And that's enough for me, because the food that I ate the night before is still there in my body for us to get me through the race, or the run rather, effectively and efficiently. So this is about training. Everybody's different, and you just have to know yourself. Try some products that I done hand out to you guys, and just see how it works for you. If you have a bad run, shake it off. Just like today, the last 2 miles was torturous for me. And you're going to have them days. Trust me, I've been running for a long time, and I can tell you I have had plenty of bad runs. It's no rhyme or reason to it. It can be just how the moon, came up the night before. I have no way to know why, but sometimes it happens. The key is that I kept pushing through it, and I got through it. The last 2 miles, I really felt every run. Every time my foot hit that treadmill, I felt it, but I got through it. And I know the next run going to be awesome, because one thing I promise you, you will never have 2 bad runs back to back. That I know. That being said, guys, the journey continues. I'm so looking forward to seeing you guys at the finish line, because we're getting closer and closer. Stay on it, okay? I know sometimes we have our ups and downs. You might get even tired of running, but it's so worth it, okay? So worth it. So enjoy the journey. Any questions, call me, and the passion continues. Bye-bye.